bless everyone out there in Radio Land. This is Barry and Karen coming to you live from Embracing Marriage Ministries. And we are actually live on Twitch TV, on Embrace Gaming. And we're coming to you today just to kind of talk to you about some things, just to kind of share with you. This is actually our Mother's Day broadcast, and so hopefully I can be able to make some changes to our podcast, because right now it's probably showing something different, so I'm gonna just kind of make some changes and adjust it, but I'll do it like this. So like I said, so excuse whatever it might say right now. It's just it's probably saying something else. Anyway, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the podcast. Like I say, this is our actual Dare to Be Different podcast. We are. Let's see. Let me change this right quick, and then we'll be on our way. Ah, boy.
That's my doing.
Yeah, that's her phone.
Sound phone. This my doings.
Yeah. So. Like I say, we are here. Like I said, we're trying this new thing because we never been live. My wife, this is our first time being live. And so we are here once again to... Now, we usually do this. We pre-record this, so we won't really do it live. So it's going to be a total different thing for us. And, of course, like I said, this is our Mother's Day podcast. And so... we just want to make sure that everybody, everybody's checking us out. So here we go. All right, so just there we go. Give me a moment, y'all. We gonna tell everybody where we at. So, and this is what we're doing. All right. Like I said, here we are, and we're on now.
Any volume? Any volume on it?
No.
Oh.
Just want to make sure that we're live. Okay. So here we are. Once again, like I said, we're going to talk about mothers. And that's what we're talking about today. Kind of rearranging my desk here. Now I know where to put this over here, where my wife can see it. And then we'll put that over here. And that'll be done. All right. Now. I'm tired. Now I'm doing all that. Now it's like I said tonight, we're going to basically just kind of share some of the things that we went through when we were, I guess you could say for Mother's Day and our mothers, because both of our mothers are gone home to be with the Lord now.
Yes.
My mother-in-law passed before my mother did, and my mother's been passed for a few years. Well,
since 2016.
Yeah, since about that long. And my mom passed beginning of this year, and so it's been a couple years apart for them. And so it was a rough week for us. Some people don't even like celebrating this holiday, especially if they've lost their mother.
Right.
They don't really care they don't care to celebrate it because of the simple fact that their mothers are gone. But we don't want to have that kind of mindset as far as that goes. We want to basically just kind of we want to celebrate the things that they've done that made us who we are today.
Right.
So we got a lot of crazy stories that we can tell you, but it wouldn't. It'd be too much and like I said, even though we have We usually do a 40-minute podcast. We don't usually really do a whole long thing, and because we're on Twitch, I've already streamed today on Twitch, and then I decided, well, I said I was going to go on live today to give us an idea of how it is to go on live. So it is actually a new thing, like I said, to both of us.
Yeah, mainly for me.
For her. So now, as for me, I've done this before as far as live. For those that don't know, you know, on the air, basically, my gamer tag is Sword Saint, and so when I go on there, usually that's what they see me as, or Embrace Gaming. Basically, my Twitch thing is Embrace Gaming, and Embrace Gaming basically was birthed out of something that we decided to do. And I always game a lot. She doesn't game as much as I do. I mean, she plays with me from time to time, and so that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not good at gaming. I'm just gonna be honest. I am not a good gamer. If I was to get on that game, like I was telling him earlier, I said it'd have to be just for laughs, cause y'all would laugh at me gaming.
Well, the thing is, it depends. Like I said, it depends on what you play, and like I said, I guess what motivated me was the fact is that I've seen a lot of different streamers. They actually had their wives on, and they've had their significant others on, and they've gamed with them. And so my dream was, especially and I saw a lot of distant streamers, and I watched that because that's what I basically play a lot of. I had streamed before I was a God of War. Kind of caught it somewhere in the second world. I was in Elfheim, and I kind of finished that, and I went into finding Mimir and getting his head and going back to the witch and reanimating and that kind of thing. So I kind of did a almost 4-hour stream.
Yeah.
Trying to get in the habit of doing that so I can be able to do that. Now this is something that we'll do once a week. You'll see this on Sunday evenings. We'll have a specific time that we'll do it. We'll probably try to do it a little earlier than this, a 7-hour time, and kind of just do it. Just kind of share with you basically whatever God lays on our heart. Our biggest thing, like I said, is for us to kind of introduce ourselves to the Twitch platform and to the Twitch world, to kind of give you an idea of what we do and what we're about. And we are a couple. We've been married for 20 years, going on 20 years. 20 years this year.
Yeah.
We both served in the same church. We worked in some of the same jobs. We've been around each other for all these years.
Yeah.
We've had our ups and downs. I mean, we've had our ins and outs. I mean, we dealt with some stuff that a lot of people probably would have split for.
Exactly.
And so she's doing this new thing, y'all. The smile a lot thing.
That's just me.
And so she smiles a lot, y'all. That's when she's happy.
Yeah. And I do, and when I'm around him,
but when
he brings that out.
When she ain't happy, she don't smile like that. To tell you that, you better be concerned when she don't. But I'm just.
And just when I'm around him, he brings out the silly side of it.
Yeah, I guess so.
I just have that silly nature. I like to laugh and smile.
Yeah, she does that.
Jokes.
Yeah.
So y'all see a lot of that.
Yeah, you probably will. The thing is,
that's what gets him going.
Yeah. Yeah. See, this is gonna be one of them kind of streams. So anyway, what happened is that we decided to. Well, like I say, kind of just to give you an idea, we originally we had a podcast. My brother and I had one, and I did it live, but I didn't do it with him for a while. I was doing them by myself, and I did them on this program called Mixler, and I did it on this Mixler platform, and I did them for like maybe 6-7 months or something like that, and then all of a sudden my brother, he got the bug to want to do it with me, so we ended up doing it together. He's my co-host. That was the first time I ever had a co-host. Yeah. So me and him co-hosted. We had called it was Death for Victory, because that's what our previous ministry was. It was Death for Victory Radio, And we did that for a while, and then we changed the name because of the way the format was going. We changed it to Unnecessary Roughness, so we changed it to that. So we did that for maybe about 2 months, and then we ran into a lot of complications and ran into different things. And like I said, we was having personal issues going on ourselves, and so we decided just to hang it up. And so I shut everything down, and we closed everything down until we decided to get ourselves, my wife and I, get ourselves on a basic even keel. But can I tell you a little bit more about us, kind of get off of that. I'll tell you more about that after I finish our introduction. Like I said, we married for 20 years. We've actually pastored the church for about a year. We was in a ministry, in that ministry that we pastored for about 15 years. We've got 5 children, we got 7 grandkids, and 1 great grandchild. Yes, we do have a great grandchild. So, like I say, happy Mother's Day to all you mothers that are listening, those that are seeing out there, especially to our, people that know who we are.
Yeah.
The thing is, also too, we've been in this region, this area, most of our lives. I've been back and forth. My wife has been maybe 1 or 2 places other than here. I've been all over the place. I've been here in the West Coast and most places and here and there. I was in the military, so I kind of moved around a lot. And so met her in 98 of June of 98. Well, I actually met her in April of 98. And it was before I became part of the church that we were at for the 15 years I was at. She was already there a few years before I got there. And so we met and we got engaged the next month, and then we got married the month after that. So we basically was married, engaged, and met each other for 90 days before we got married. Yeah. And so what really made us come into the place of really just sharing marriage stuff about marriage was really after we shut everything particularly down and we went through what we went through, because 2017 was a bad year for us. It was a bad year. I mean, we share, if you want to know about some of the stuff that we talked about, we have a podcast we did called Testimony of Marriage. You can go to this website that's under our picture here, which is embracingmarriagetogether.wordpress.com. You can go check that out, and then you got a podcast there.
Yeah, it was a good bad. I wouldn't say it was all bad, but it was good and bad.
Yeah.
We had a whole lot of good times also.
Yeah,
we had a lot.
Yeah, but it wasn't like a lot of the years that we had.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the years that we basically had was kind of just it was some good times. Yeah, she's right. It was a good time. I'm not gonna say that either. It's good times, but then we had some rough periods where it was really we was really kind of wondering if we was going to even make it to our anniversary that year. Yeah. Which we did make it there, and we got past that point. And once we got past, I think what really once we got to the point where we are now, like I said, we're still a work in progress. We work on it every day. Yeah. And so, but we realized that we had a ministry that God was developing. So so what came out of it came out embracing marriage. Embracing marriage was what we were wanting to do, is to embrace marriage. And so what embrace God, embrace marriage, embrace family, that's our motto. So basically that's what we began to do. We started embracing God. Yeah. And in the process we started embracing our marriage, and then we started embracing our family. So it was a progressive thing. So then all of a sudden now a ministry came out of it. So we started to we was wondering, well, okay, originally when God gave me to do this, because at first when I was doing this, I was doing it through another platform. I wasn't doing it through the mixer. I was doing it through like Blog Talk Radio. And I was using the phone. So it wasn't the first time I actually done this live. I'd done this on the air, and I would go do this live, and I would have times I would do it, and I've had to cut it off because where I was, people were crazy and they would come over the air and they would cuss and say all God awful stuff. And I'm a Christian broadcaster, and here it is, this dude blankety blanking all over my podcast. So I had to shut it down. One time, I kid you not, we just got stand in front of my window cussing out another guy because he was mad at him. So all of a sudden I had to say, you know what? I'm gonna get with y'all tomorrow. What I told him, and I had to delete the call. Yeah, I had to delete it. So it was that bad. So what happens when you have situations like that? I mean, there's really nothing you can do by it, but just do something different.
Yeah.
So now we pick a particular time where we won't have a lot of traffic. We can be able to do in a comfort without anybody having to edit it, because sometimes it's hard to edit that stuff out.
Yeah.
And so that's the reason why we just do it at certain times. So when we started, actually, like I said, my wife never done this before. This is her first time ever doing any of this. Because what you don't realize is that we're going to be doing this. When you're going to see this, and if you're actually looking at this on YouTube, like, share, and subscribe to us.
Yeah.
Follow our page. Also follow our channel. Hit the notification bell up there. Down there, Brad, and you'll get notification of this anytime we're making a video. Also, like I said, she never did. She decided, well, hey, we were gonna do it, and so I was talking about this before. I said, well, she asked me once we decided what we was gonna do. She asked me. She said, well, what do we need? And I said, well. That's what I said. Started a sentence with well. When you start a sentence with well, you were like, I'm trying to find a good way to answer it. So I said, well, I'm gonna need a program. We're gonna need a computer to program to run it on. I need to have a computer because at that time we didn't have one. Well, the computer we previously had was old. And we actually had to throw it away anyway. And so, like I said, we got rid of and traded in a lot of stuff we got because we'll tell you, we can't tell you.
Out with the old and in with the new.
We ended up getting rid of a lot of stuff. Yeah. Just say that. So anyway, the thing is, we had to replace everything. Which we upgraded, which was good because we needed to upgrade everything anyway because a lot of stuff we had was old. I was doing gaming at the time, and I was getting into this. I was gonna do some captures, and I had a game capture which got destroyed, and I lost it. Actually, I lost it. So, in a lot of stuff we shuffled around, we lost a lot of stuff. So I ended up throwing away a lot of the cords and stuff that I had, and I didn't know. And so I might have tossed it in the garbage too, a lot of this stuff, and got rid of a lot of it. So we still had my mics. I still had my arms of the mics that I had because I had some newer mics, which was newer. That's the name of it, newer mics. And they were actual two of them, and I bought one for her, one for me. Because the original plan was we were going to do this together. But lo and behold, I'm had two mics sitting up here, and I'm Skyping my brother in, and he's crossing the West Coast. So, but it actually posed a new adventure because I found out it allowed me to learn how to be able to do interviews. If I had to interview somebody, I had to know how to put them in and different things like that. Even not using Skype, I could still call them in and get them through the board, and I could hear them and not stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So, and because I had to make a lot of concessions, what had happened because of the stuff that happened to us, we had to say some guidelines and boundaries. So I had to work with her as far as what she wanted done. And I had to do it, with that in mind. I had to say, okay, well, she say, well, what else do we need? And I say, well, we'll need, I think next time I said we need a new mixer because the mixer I have is old. And it was actually kind of going out. A guy at my job gave it to me because I told him I was doing it. And he said, well, I got one I ain't doing that with. And it was good. It worked. Little Behringer, it was an old Behringer, but it worked, and it did its job. So I never had no problems with it. But I wanted to upgrade the mixer because there was some things on that mixer. We got that Yamaha MGXU, we got that one, and so we got that I think it's the 10 band one. It's the MG10XU. So we got the 10 band one, and I need to want to do the effects, which I got this thing and never used the effects. I say, well, I'm gonna do it one day just to kind of jack around with it, but what happened? I ended up, so we ended up getting the computer, so we ended up getting the mixer. So say, what else we need? And so my list started to come up. I made a list. I started to come up in my head of the list of stuff we need. And I said, well, she said, well, I want to replace some of the speakers we had. And say, okay, we can do that. So she replaced some of the speakers and say, well, I told her, I said, well, we'll need, if we're going to do video, because she wanted to she talked about video. And I said, okay, we're going to do video, I need another camera. So we upgraded the camera that we had. We got the webcam, the C922 Logitech one. So we upgrade that. Then say, well, we need to upgrade our mics. Because if you heard our first podcast, then heard this, I think we didn't get the mics till like what, the third podcast?
Yeah.
So the third podcast, if you heard the third one, the third one sounds better than just these we have right here. You can see they're what are these things? Sterling. They're Sterling. She has the ST-151. I have the ST-150 or something like that. I had the one with the little pencil mic, the little boom mic, the acoustic mic. I had that set, and they was running out of it, so we ended up buying it. A lot of this stuff in the store. I said, well, we'll need headphones. So she said, okay. So I think we got the headphones, so we got the mics. No, we got the mics first, then the headphones, right? Mm-hmm. So the mics, these mics were heavier than the newer I had, so the arms wasn't working. So I said, babe, we need some more mic arms. So we ended up getting these mic arms were comparable to Rode mic arms, which we was gonna get some PSA 1s, and the PSA 1s ran about $100. And so we ended up getting these for about as much as we got for one mic arm, and they just as strong and just as sturdy as the ones that we had, those Rhodes. So we ended up getting those mic arms, and they so huge ones. And boy, I got snapped by one of them when I was putting it together. So, but like I say, we kept going on, and we just built up the stuff that we had in the remote. We did that. So the only thing, like I said, when we started the gaming thing, the only thing I do now is, because I don't have a capture device, I just do it through my console, which I did today. And the Xbox, I have a way where I can do a capture just off the computer itself when I do use my Xbox app, but I don't have any Xbox apps or games right now I want to stream. I'm thinking about doing some old stuff. I think I'm doing some old school Pac-Man stuff. I might run that once a week, do like old school throwbacks, get some old games and just run them, like the nostalgic kind of thing. And, but my wife, she limits me on certain things because I need to give her the time and turn. So we decided to do this because, like I say, we had already agreed to do it, but I had already streamed too long today, and so I'm gonna do this little thing for us and just kind of share with you something about our mothers and talk about, what real motherhood is.
Yeah.
We can tell you what motherhood is. We can tell you what a mother is not. Mm-hmm. Okay. A mother, what is not a mother? Put it like that. Tell you what, a mother is not just someone that just has children.
Right.
Because you can get anybody to have a kid if they're able to. Biologically, you're able to have children if you're a female. Because that's the way you've been designed. But that doesn't make you a mother. That just makes you biologically capable of having children. See, there's a difference. See, and a lot of kids, and I say kids because a lot of these people that are having these children are children. They had them young. A lot of moms had us young. My mom, I think her mom had her when she was young. And my mom had me, I think, when she was about close to my age, which is in her 40s. And so we ended up, I was the youngest of 5 kids. And so, well, actually it's more than that, but I think now it's just down to us 4 or 5. And so, but I'm the youngest of the 5. My sister's the oldest, and I got 3 other brothers older than me. My wife has just two remaining siblings. There's two of her siblings passed. She had a brother and a sister that passed.
Mm-hmm.
Her youngest sister passed, and her older brothers passed. The one that's under her, sister under her, because her sister under her is living, and then the next,
the baby boy,
the youngest boy, yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's on three of them. It's only five of us still, and our mothers passed. They were both up in age. My mom was older than hers.
Yeah.
Her mom was 68. My mom was 83. Would have been 83. She was 82. And so they lived their lives. Two totally different people. My mom, her, well, she can tell you about my mom more than I can tell her. Yeah. My mother-in-law smoked until she died. I mean, but she had a lot of complications, and I think when she passed, she had a lot of strokes, and she had I think she had a brain aneurysm or something.
She had a brain aneurysm.
Yeah, she had a brain aneurysm at the time, and she did kind of recover. She was in Houston with my sister-in-law. She did recover for a while, and she was doing pretty good, and then one hit her again. And I think that was the final straw. And my sister basically kind of just talked. My sister-in-law kind of just talked her into the grave, basically. And she ended up passing. And they informed us of it, and I ended up having to go take some time with her, and it took her a little bit. How did you handle that? Just kind of share with them how you handled that during that diet, because I know that I tell you about my time, but I want her to share hers.
Well, how did I handle it? I was kind of prepared a little bit, I think after she came to, and I think and I kind of knew that she was getting ready to go. So a lot of things I was kind of prepared for. I kind of prepared myself for it. I guess considering her condition.
Yeah.
And she had two brain aneurysm, and they said she was gonna be a vegetable. So I kind of prepared myself, and then she was older up in age. She wasn't in the best of health. So did a whole lot of praying. Trusted and leaned and depended on the Lord. And it helped, and I encouraged myself to stay in the Word, and that helped me also. And then I looked at the good qualities, and I encouraged myself, because I think we was talking about that one time how they raised us.
Yeah.
So I think I just started reflect.
I got some raising stories.
So I just reflected on all the good things that she did as a mother. And that helped me a lot. She brought us up in the way of the Lord. We had to go to church. We ain't had no choice. Like some kids, I don't want to go to church. I don't feel like going to church. We had to go to church. We ain't had no choice. Yeah. But we did not have it. We went to church. So I looked at all the good things that she did as a mother. She provided, made sure we had a roof over our head. All the things that a mother should do. She wasn't a perfect mother, but she did her best.
Yeah.
So.
Well, my mother basically was, like I said, my mother had got up in age, and she had a lot of different health complications. Basically, I think she had just got to the point where her body was started shut down. She had, I think they said she had a series of small strokes. It wasn't like major strokes like that. But my mother had high blood pressure, seriously high blood pressure. She had diabetes at the time. And she had all kinds of different health complications. She was overweight. And she had gotten to the point where she was bedridden. And she wouldn't get up and do anything because she was hurt. She had serious rheumatoid arthritis. And my mom had a lot of stuff going on. But the thing is, her history is that she did do a lot of traveling. She was a soloist, And she did a lot of traveling, and she also traveled with a group and a lady that played with her, and she was in a group for a while, and she actually just that was what she did. That was her ministry. She sang. But mom, even at 82, she was at her own sister's funeral, and they had her sing, and she was actually singing. She actually sung, like she always sang, and that was the first time I actually heard my mother sing in years, because she had just lost. You get to the point where you in your life where life kicks you so hard that you lose your voice.
Yeah.
And so I think what it was is that she had lost her worship because of the fact that life had just kicked her so hard. And she was really more ready to leave than she was to deal with life. And she wasn't going to kill herself, but she was basically killing herself by what she said. And so she was kept saying that she wanted to go home, and she was ready to go, and she was getting up there in age, and she was pretty much all her brothers and sisters except for one had passed. I mean, there was my uncles. He's the only remaining person in my aunt Alice. They were the only remaining seniors in that line. After they died, it's just me and my brothers and sister, and so we're the next one. So. There's most seniors in our family. There don't no more patriarchs. I mean, they're pretty much passing. My mom was the matriarch of our group, and sometimes she ruled with iron fists, and sometimes she ruled with graciousness. It just depends on what day it was.
Yeah, my mom also. Oh yeah.
Yeah. My mom, because that generation, they didn't know what it was to have tact and wisdom and all this kind of stuff. No. They just did whatever would work for them.
Yeah.
And so I guess, and that's what we looked at. We looked at the fact that they did what they did because they were taught to do it that way.
Yeah.
They didn't know no other way but the way that they knew.
Yeah.
And so that's why I say I really never charged it. And we had me and my mom, when I was younger, I was rebellious a lot. And I gave her a lot of problems. And so we didn't start really getting along until I think I got grown, and then we started having. And then even then, I was just one thing she always would say about me, and that was a testimony in itself because my mom was a good judge of character.
Yes,
she would know if someone was not right or not, and she said for her to say that was a compliment to me and a high praise to me. Say one thing she told my wife this. She said one thing I can say about Barry. That's me. She said that he's not gonna tell me, he's not gonna lie to me.
Yeah.
He gonna always be honest with me and tell me the truth. And the reason she say that is because if some people would tell her they was gonna do something and they would do it. She was always that kind of person. If you tell her that you gonna do something, she come in that generation. You say you gonna do something, you do it.
Yeah, you honored your word.
You honored your word.
You honored your word.
And so she believed in that. And so when I tell her like, hey, she wanted me to do something for her, I said, Mom, I won't be able to do it now, but I'll be able to do it later on. Can't make you any promises now, so I tell her that every time.
Yeah,
because she stick to that.
Yeah, she honored that about
you. She did.
She spoke highly of you.
And she didn't run me all over the planet like the rest of them, because she already know. I told her, look here, I ain't going but one place. You gonna pick a place. I'm gonna go that one place because I don't drive. Oh, you go. And that thing don't burn no regular gas. And so, but the thing is,
but she loved it about him.
She respected that. She never, she got her line with me a few times, and I had to straighten her out. Especially when it came to my wife. And I had one time I actually stood up and we was talking about that today. That I actually stood up to her because of my wife, because she had done and said something to her that wasn't right, and I had to say, look here, Mom, I love you, but that's my wife. I said, love you, my mother, but that's my wife, and I'm not gonna let you just do it any kind of way. Not let nobody do it any kind of way.
No, he.
So look here. Look here. You're gonna catch the fade just for that. So
love him some me.
Yeah, that's it. So the thing is, what we but my mother's, like I said, we loved them, and we thank God that now they're in heaven with Him, and so we know that my mother-in-law my sister-in-law had the privilege of leading her to Christ before she died. 'Cause my mother-in-law was running her.
She wasn't. My mom wasn't.
She wasn't saved.
She wasn't saved. She wasn't.
She
in
ran
Christ.
hard. She had hard for the
So
devil until she got till that time.
So yeah, she didn't. And I think at the end of her life,
she gave
her life to Christ.
Yeah.
So, and that was one of my requests when I knew she was sick. I say, I know she was going to go. I say, Lord, I don't have a problem with you taking her, but do not, I asked, that was a request. I say, just don't take her and her not be saved.
Mm-hmm.
So, and my sister say, well, she led her to the Lord, and at the end of her life, she did give her life to Christ, and she did live her life for Christ. So I was like,
yeah,
okay, I was grateful.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like I say, my mom, she was already in Christ, and so it just made it easier for me. And then we would already, my family, the roughest part of it for me was, I think I took mine harder than my wife took her. She did take hers pretty hard, but not mine, not as hard as me.
No.
Because that was a rough week for me, because she had passed the 2 days before her birthday, and my birthday was the end of that week.
Mm-hmm.
She had passed on that what was that?
Cause her birthday was on the 9th.
So it was like a Tuesday or something.
7th. I think she passed on
the 7th,
yeah,
which was like a Sunday night. So it was Sunday, and then it was Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Tuesday was her birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Friday was mine. We buried her Saturday. So you can imagine how crazy this must have been for us, because my brothers had to come down, one from California and the other from Arizona. We had cousins that came down from Dallas. We had people that came down from everywhere. We had all them different people.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it was my sister was really trying to get it done, and it and it
the
was
best that she knew how. Yeah.
And so we kind of helped her through it, and got her to do what needs to be done, and the decisions that need to be made and stuff. And so we all worked together. And I think what it really showed, what we really did, what Mother wanted us to all do, because we was all spread out in different places, and we really wasn't together. And I think that showed what we did as a group and as one family, kind of showed what she wanted to happen all along. We was all together. There was no disagreements. When we met, my sister and I, and my nephew, my niece, and great niece, my wife, were at her bedside before she passed. She wasn't responsive, but the only time that she actually did make any kind of response when she heard my voice. Yeah. And so, because she hadn't seen me since she had gotten that place where she was, and so I was the last person. She went home after that because she was waiting for me. That's what my brother was telling me. Said she was waiting for you, and that's just all she asked about. And so she basically, the day after I seen her, I think we went to see her that Friday, 2 days after that, she passed. So that's why I said I kind of knew we was already prepared. So it wasn't really a big surprise, because I've had a lady that worked with us on the job. Her mother just abruptly passed, and she took it real hard, and it physically affected her. But me, even though I was prepared, it still hit me hard, because I still and we had a lot of other stuff going on. Yeah. And on top of that, and so it was just a lot on me, and depression tried to get on me and tried to deal with me. And I'm telling you that I understand what people go through when they go through that grief. Mm-hmm. And we want to encourage you today. If you had a parent pass on this day or any other time during that year before Mother's Day, and it's your mom, we want you to know that we understand. Yeah. We really do. We understand the pain, the hurt that you have, and that it seems like it's not going to ever end. We understand the depression and the grief and the sorrow that you have to go through. We understand that. Yeah. This might seem like a depressing stream, but it's really an encouragement, because we want you to understand that.
Because we know that this is a sad time.
Yeah, for some people it is.
Some people it is, and some people it's not.
Yeah.
But for those that are still mourning.
Yeah.
And still down or whatever, we just want to encourage you.
That's right. We want to let you know that you have some people who understand, And we want to do this stream to introduce you to us and who we are. And we are Embrace Marriage Ministries, and I'm Barry, and this is Karen. And we are here once a week. Well, we're going to start doing this once a week live. But we do doing pre-recorded. Like I said, you can go and check out our website, embracemarriage.wordpress, embracemarriagetogether.wordpress.com. Check us out. We have podcasts for it. We have videos, and we have Embracing Marriage Ministries. We have YouTube. All the different platforms are going to be links on our website for that. You can go and check us out over there. It also has a link for this particular stream. It also has a link for this gaming site on Twitch. Like I said, I'm going to be doing different things. You're going to hear different things from me. And so I want to thank God for those that have supported us in the past and those that are continuously supporting us. If you are listening to the stream, I want you to follow us. We can't subscribe yet because I'm not part of the affiliate yet, but you can follow us. Follow our stream. Thank God for the followers that we have. Those that are seeing this, we thank God for you. Like I said, we're getting up there. We're slow climb, but it's going to be better in the end. We're going to bring this to a close, and we want you to know, like I said, we're here for you if you want prayer for us. You want somebody to pray for you and encourage you. We do have a link on the website where you can do contact. You contact us, you can hit that link, and it'll basically give you some way for you to contact us and send us your requests. We also have a Discord, which I didn't get a chance to put the link on the website because it don't work too well. But we have a Discord. It's in discord.gg/embracing marriage. Embracing gaming. It's the same as my Twitch. Embrace_gaming 149. So you can check us out. We use that if you want to be able to, once I do the stream and really get going and get some people following, we'll use that as a means to be able to reach you. You can put your prayer requests there as well. Again, happy Mother's Day to all those that are mothers and those that are celebrating this time. For some of you that are dealing with this, we, like you say, we understand and we're praying for you. For those that have their mothers, let us give you a piece of advice. Don't take them for granted.
No.
Please do not, because you never know when they're going to pass, and you won't be able to share with them the moments that you have right now. So we thank God for you, and we want you to know that we're here for you, and we bless you, and we thank God. And remember,
be encouraged in the Lord.
Amen. God, good night.